Hi, everybody. Today's video is going to be a short, sweet one about the importance of your citation. I'm going to show you a student essay who has some of it right and some of it not so right to kind of give you a heads up. Remember that 50 points in this essay, just, totally for citation. So I take it pretty seriously. It's worth your time to do it well and to do it right. Remember that the Writing Center is also very good about checking citation, although what we're going to talk about today is really fine-tuning your citations. I doubt that anyone is going to take as much time as I am in making sure that your citations are correct. So just letting you know, this is what I want you to do. Okay, so let me share my screen. And I'm going to pull up a student essay here. This is one of the student essays that you have already read. It's the one on mental illness in prisons, okay? So this is what I want you to do on Wednesday. In your own paper, I want you to scroll through the first time you come to, right here, the first time you come to what we call a parenthetical citation. This is an in-text citation in parentheses, therefore we call it parenthetical citation. Isn't that nice? Okay, so right here, it says Beccu. And I'm like, all right, so I'm guessing that this is the last name, probably the last name of the person that he's interviewing, Jean, okay? And I'm going to guess that right here, there's no page number. Okay, this looks okay. Notice how there's a space after the direct quote, parentheses, last name, parentheses, period. All that looks very good. Right now, though, I'm going to scroll to the works cited page, and I'm going to look for Beccu. Now, notice I come here and I'm automatically a little bit confused because this is supposed to be in alphabetical order. And if it were in alphabetical order, Beccu would be right up front. But I'm not seeing Beccu. So I'm like, something's off. Scroll all the way down. Ooh, here it is. Beccu Jean, personal interview, 18th April 2019. So there's a couple things wrong here. One, this is not an alphabetical order. You can kind of see that anyway. There's G, which comes after S, which comes after L. Some of this is really off, right? We've got all kinds of things. Now, this is an interesting one. I've had students before go, Professor Qualls, my title begins with a number. Like, what the hell do I do with that? You would put that number, it depends on the letter that begins that number. So since this is 523, you would put this where the F's go, if that makes sense, everybody. Okay, so right now, 5 points off, right off the top. The highest this kid can get is 45 out of 50 because it's not in alphabetical order. Because you can see that's really confusing. Like if I want to find stuff in your works cited page, it needs to be in alphabetical order so I know where to look. So automatically not good. Take a look down here too. It does something really goofy. All this looks good. Beccu, comma, Jean, period, personal interview. And then he has this weird like colon. That's not right. It's supposed to be a period. Then he has 18th, TH. Nope, you don't need TH, just 18 April 2019. Now this is correct. You do want to have the date in the quote unquote European style where you put the day and then the month and then the year. That is correct, but you don't need the TH after. Okay, so again, that probably would have lost a point or two because it's not entirely correct. That's how anal I'm gonna be. So just letting you know, if you could slide in high school because your teachers were like, close enough. Nope, and in Comp 2, most likely, nope again. So we need to be consistent. You need to follow the rules. Okay, so let's go back up to the paper. So we found that first one. I'm gonna go to the next one. Lamb 109. Okay, great. Everything looks good. There's space, parentheses, capital M, Lamb. I'm guessing this is 109. This looks good. Notice how he doesn't make the mistake. Some people like to put the comma there. No comma is needed. Some people want to put a PG. No PG is needed. Some people want to put what we used to refer to as the number sign, and some of you hashtag like this. Nope, don't need that. This is perfect. Just the last name, space, page number, perfect. Again, I'm going to scroll down to the works cited page and I'm going to look for L. Now, we already talked about how the alphabetical order is kind of goofy here. L should not be the first that we see, but okay. I take a look then. Nice. He has the title really, really good. It's just works. Notice the S cited because there's more than one work. Great. So here, I'm going to highlight this to show that we found this in his paper and we found this in his paper. Wasn't entirely correct, but we found it. Okay. Everything else looks really, really good. Notice how this is in what we call italics. So if I tell you really this needs to be in italics, italicize this. This is in italics because this is the title of the source, like the journal. Psychiatric Quarterly is the name of a magazine, a journal, and that deserves italics, not quotation marks. This is the title of an article, which does get quotation marks. So title of the article, quotation marks, title of the journal in italics, perfect. All of this looks totally correct. Again, because this is the title of the database, then it too gets italicized, perfect. It has the DOI, the domain number, great, nice. Everything looks beautiful. Notice too how the first line is all the way to the left and it's the next two that are indented. Perfect. Do y'all remember how to do that? Because remember, it can get kind of annoying if you're trying to just tab it over, then the whole thing goes over, right? You would do Control Tab. There you go. Okay, so Control Tab is your friend. I would do this with the rest of everything in this paper. When I'm a teacher, when I'm going to be grading this, the first time I grade it, it's just going to be for content. Do you have a good thesis? Do you have good topic sentences? Do you have any quote bombs? Because I hate quote bombs, right? Integrate those quotes. Tell us who's speaking. Tell us their credentials, all that good stuff. That's going to be the content grade. And then I grade it a second time just for the MLA. And this is what I do. I go through each of these. And then I go through, I make sure that this looks okay, that there's no comma, good, good, good. And then I go scroll down to your works cited. And I find ring off and I check it off. Okay, this is in there. Perfect, italicized, good. There's no domain number, but that's okay. Everything else looks really, really nice. Okay, and then I scroll back up. And I do this with everyone. Now let's say, just hypothetically, let's say he gives this, I'm gonna guess that this is a title, right? And I scroll down and I look for solutions for mentally ill. Here it is, perfect. And that's why if you don't have an author, then you put the title. So everything looks good. But let's say I couldn't find solutions. Let's say that he didn't put this in the works cited page. So let's say that he cited a work in here that does not, like Jean. This is he forgot to put the last name, he put her first name. Very confusing, right? Let's say that I can't find one of your works in the works cited page. Like you have it in the paper, you cite it in the paper, but it's not in the works cited, that's 5 points off because that's not good. You can't have a source in your paper that you forget to cite in your works cited page, right? But the opposite is also true. Let's say I find all of these. I find Smith in his paper. I find 523 in his paper. I find all of these in his paper, except I can't find, for the life of me, I cannot find Jenny Gold anywhere in his essay. That means he put this, he didn't cite. This is not a work that he cited in his paper. You can't do that. If a teacher says you need to have 20 sources in your works cited page, she's talking about like the works that you cited in your essay. What the title of this is not all the crap I found for this paper, some of which I didn't even read. You can't put in the works cited page stuff that didn't make it into the paper. So I'm also looking for that. If I go through your entire paper and I've looked at all the sources inside your essay, and there are some here that never made it in your paper, that's 5 points off too. So you've got to be careful. This is what I want you to do on Wednesday. Go through your essay, stop at every parenthetical citation. That means all of these citations. Make sure that the citations in the parentheses makes sense. And then make sure that it's cited correctly. Like here, I would put quotation marks because this is the title. Also, remember, he doesn't have to put the whole title. Do y'all remember this? This was part of the quiz the other day. You don't have to put the full title because all I'm looking for is really solutions. Does that make sense? So if you've got a really long title, you don't have to put the whole thing in those parentheses. Here, for example, there is gold. So he did do that correctly. That's okay. So this is gold. Here's Jean. That's really confusing because it should be Beku, not her first name. Okay. So again, I go through the entire essay. I highlight, I go down, I check off, okay, this was in the paper, this was in the paper, this is in the paper. And if I find something in your paper that's not cited, that's points off. If there's something in your works cited page that's not mentioned in your essay, those are points off. So what we're doing in class today is really crucial for you to do well on your MLA grade. And then finally, after you've done this yourself, you've gone through, check your works cited page. Check and make sure that the title looks good. Check and make sure everything is evenly spaced. It should be all evenly double spaced. Check and make sure that left line is all the way to the left and that it's indented, the next two. Make sure that what needs to be in italics is in italics. Make sure that when you give dates, that it's not all wackadoodle, okay? And then I want you to submit that works cited page to the assignment, and then we're gonna peer edit each other's works cited pages. So I'll jump on and say, this looks good, or I'm gonna say, this is a total mess, or, I'm gonna be doing that with you, but I want us to peer edit each other's works cited pages so that we can get as many points as possible, all of us together. We're gonna work together to lift each other up. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Good luck, everybody. Know that I am willing to help you any way I can. Give me a call if you need some help. I can do some kind of like Teams meeting or a Zoom. If you need to see my face and you want to share what you're doing, that's fine too. Okay. So let me know and good luck.